Here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Milo gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Concrete Chaos 175 live tonight at Dover Motor Speedway. Race 11 out of 14 in the first race of the chase. Ross Phillips going to start on that pole. VSRL Set Truck Series Monday night getting ready to roll off here. That's a fine looking paint scheme. OrangeSpeed.net on the pole with Dakota Floyd starting to his outside. Next row is going to have Garrett Helmlinger, who snuck into the playoffs right there in last week's race, with Kyle Stewart to his outside. 5th position will go to Nicholas Pressey with Brian Hennings in 6th position. We have Sean Bounty and Joseph Selig, 7th and 8th place. 9th position will belong to Justin Ritchie with Brian Watkins in 10th. 11th spot will be Thad Miller with David Achenbauer in 12th. 13th and 14th, we've got Randy Swale and Todd Cleveland. And then rounding out, well, actually not rounding out your field, Sean Langton, Morgan Cook. Rounding out your field will be Adam Tips in the 54 machine. So, the Monster Mile, Dover Motor Speedway. 1 mile oval with concrete surface, high banks, and a tricky exit on turn 2. It's going to be fun to watch these guys try to pass. Hope you guys are as excited as I am here for the first race of the chase. Coming off of the corner. And here they come to the start-finish line in the restart zone. Green flag in the air. And we're live, VSRL. Chase race number 1. And to lead lap number 1, it's going to be Ross Phillips. Boy, did he not waste any time. He pulled out. Garrett Helmlinger picks up a position rather quickly. He gets by Dakota Floyd and Nicholas Pressey and goes up to the 2nd position. Garrett Helmlinger, remember, had a lot of confidence from last week. Wasn't sure if he was going to make the chase. Won his way in. And here he sits right now in the 2nd spot. Orange Speed moved to the team there for the 21. It looks like it's paid dividends for him so far this season. Started to turn his season around. Look at these guys coming off at turn 2. Really loose on the humps there. And there's the guy that started outside the pole, Dakota Floyd. He's fallen back to 4th position with a hungry Sean Bounty right behind him, looking to make a pass. Can't quite clear him, but we go on board here. You can see that hump coming out of the turn 2 exit. It's very tricky to get off that corner, especially if you're on the inside of somebody, and Sean did a good job staying off the 24. guys that have clipped the wall here. Looks like the 41, Kyle Stewart, might have a little bit of right side damage. See if we get a better look at that machine. It looks pretty clean. Still digging that paint scheme. He goes to the inside, and Nicholas Pressey now for the 5th spot. Pressey way up the track. He's going to give up a couple of them. Justin Ritchie now to the inside. So there's 2 spots lost for the 94. Thad Miller in the top 10, running in the 9th position. Running back in 11th. He's going to get around Brian Hennings for the 8th spot now. So a lot of racing going on. I tell you, out of ordinary, there's the 12 of Joseph Selling. He's got some front end damage already. It looked like somebody might not have went at the start of this race. Actually, that's the 37 of Ackenbauer. The Wonder Bread machine looks pretty similar in that front end to the 12, but out of the ordinary here for Todd Cleveland. Started deep in the field. And he's already lost 1 spot, so Dover must not be one of his favorite tracks. We go back up front here. I tell you who's really enjoying this race right now is the 24, Dakota Floyd, takes the lead back away. He started outside that pole, and look at him go now. Taking it away from Ross Phillips, and he's got Sean Bounty trying to chase him down. There's a lap led for the 24. This field stayed pretty close together thus far. 24-34, pulling away from the field. Ross Phillips has lost about 9/10 of a second to the leader. He's got a 55 of Justin Ritchie right behind him as they go down the backstretch. '24 Dakota Floyd leads another one. Sean Bounty trying to chase him down. I see in the chat there, Jacob. Is this the car you're looking for? Oh, Selly gets really tight off the exit of 4. And Adam Tips has to check up. He almost gets into the back of the 44 Todd Cleveland. Sellig's going to let him go around, but really checked up the 54 of Tips. Let's go back up front because Sean Bounty is going to start making a move. You can see Ross Phillips. He's under fire for the 55. Ritchie has peeked to the inside several times, not able to complete the pass this time through as they go down the back straightaway. It's looking like Phillips is starting to get a little tight. He's starting to struggle here a little bit. That's a big gap here. Riding on board with Sean Bounty as he tries to make this move. Gets a big run, peeks to the inside in 3. But Floyd's going to close the door off the exit. Now trying the outside line. Can't make it work there either. Floyd doing a really good job, but now he is to the outside in 3 and 4. Pass for the lead here. Bounty's been working on him, but Floyd's been doing a great job at playing defense. 24 is going to lead another lap. Bounty gets a good run here off the exit, but he's not able to do anything with it. It's that entry to the corners on both sides of this track. It's hard to carry that speed without overshooting the apex. You can get a great turn off, but turn in, you're going to lose all of it. You can see Floyd using that to his advantage. He knows that that 34 has to get a great entry. So he comes in a little high and takes away both those entry points to complete the pass. Downey's going to get the momentum set back up. They've pulled out. Oh, and Floyd hits the wall. That's going to help the 34. And Sean Bounty is going to take away the lead. Dakota Floyd clips the wall down the backstretch out of 2. And Sean Bounty to the lead on lap 17. We're back here to Ross Phillips, who's been playing defense as well with Justin Ritchie. Garrett Helmlinger falls back to the 5th position. Remember, he worked his way up to 2nd a moment ago. Sean Langton in a new machine. Look at that. Let's get a zoom in on that machine. These Orange Speed guys, they've always got some cool looking paint schemes. I don't know who paints those trucks, but they do a great job. I was going to say good and great at the same time, so that makes it even better. Look at this freight train of cars behind Ross Phillips. He starts on the pole. He's back to 3rd, about 2 seconds back from Dakota Floyd and Sean Bounty. Floyd has lost 0.2 of a second now to the 34. I want to go on board with Justin Ritchie, who is starting to lose a little bit of ground. Ritchie, with that 3rd place finish there last week, said he lucked into it. Look where he's running right now. In the 3rd spot. And he's new to this simulation racing. All it takes is one good finish to build that confidence. Now Ritchie might have a passer here on the inside. Helmlinger looks down to the bottom in 1 and 2. Ritchie's got the preferred line on the exit. He's able to hold on for defense a little bit longer. But Ritchie is holding up a couple of these guys back here. They're being very patient. So tough to pass at Dover. You can see Helmlinger being very patient. He's trying to find that apex. Whoa, wow, walks it all the way out to the wall. I thought he was going to clip it there. Ritchie now opens up the door with that slight block, and the 8 of Langton gets around for the 5th position. And check back in with your leaders. The 34 of Bounty has pulled out 0.4 of a second over the 24 of Dakota Floyd. Floyd already having a tight condition now, giving a little cushion there to Bounty. Don't want to run in that dirty air. Use that right front off. So now Langton, he's going to try to work on the 3rd spot. 4th position, actually. Let's see if he has any luck passing the 55 of Ritchie. At this point in the run, these guys are probably dragging the brakes a little bit to try to get that nose set up. Keep it down off the wall. Especially when you're running behind somebody. The downforce just isn't there to keep that front end planted. And there's the move now for the 8. Langton doesn't have the momentum. He does peek to the inside. Ritchie's doing a great job getting just enough of a run. Now Langton looks like he's getting tired of the blocks, tired of the moves. Started back in 15th spot, has worked his way up to 5th. Oh, big move here for the 8. He had all the momentum in the world. The 55 puts a hard block on him with the exit at 4. Takes him all the way to the bottom of the track. I think he's got one more of those, and then he's getting turned. I don't think I would want to block Langton for too long. If he feels like you're holding him up, he will move you. There's the pass now, the 8 to the bottom for the 4th position. Still the 21 of Helmlinger sends it in there as well, trying to get to the inside. And he get the pass off. That opened the floodgates. Now the 41 of Kyle Stewart going to go around. Side by side, Richie gets really tight on the exit of 2. And he's going to have to let the 41 of Stewart go so he can run that bottom again. Look who showed back up. Ross Phillips chasing down the lead and makes a pass on Sean Bounty. I'm surprised we missed that. I didn't even realize the 5 was catching the 34. He worked back up through there quickly. Started saving his stuff. And 31 laps into this thing. Back to the lead here for the 5 of Phillips. Well, we're going to check back in here. We'll see how the run's going for Todd Cleveland. He's up to the 11th position. So he is going up. He's got a lot of work left to do. About 0.8 of a second here between him and 10th place. Are in the wall behind him. I believe that was Brian Watkins. No, that was the 00. It's Randy Solly. Name I haven't mentioned yet this season. He's in the 12th position. The premier race at VSRL for Solly. And he's got a tight condition. Morgan Cook. Had a rough start to this race, actually. 24 laps down. Maybe some connection issues here for the 51. But checking out Ross Phillips. He's pulled almost a second ahead of Sean Bounty. Coming off of turn 2 right now. He's looking good. Back here to Bounty, Dakota Floyd. John Langton. Langton able to get around the 55 of Richie a moment ago. He's starting to shave that lead down a little bit each lap. 3.5 seconds to Ross Phillips. 2.3 to Dakota Floyd, who's stuck around in the 3rd position. Still a lot of work left to be done here. If we take a look at your playoff picture, VSRL, Dover, Michigan, Bristol, and Las Vegas, the 4-race set. This is your playoff field. John Bounty, Sean Langton, Kyle Stewart, Nicholas Pressey, Morgan Cook, Garrett Helmlinger, Ross Phillips, and Justin Ritchie. A lot of these guys that are previous winners or had successful finishes all season long. Let's talk about something interesting. Richie's saying that he's new to this simulator business. He made the playoffs. Imagine what's in store for the 55 team. So he gets some races and some laps under his belt. A lot of practice. And great things in the future here for the 55. Everybody's starting to struggle a little bit. Garrett Helmlinger, he's fallen back to 6th position. Doesn't look like he's having a very good time here at Dover. Started up there in 3rd. He was able to get around the 55, but he's got a pretty impressive gap of almost 6 seconds to the leaders. And at the start of this race, the first 10 laps, he was just outside the lead. But my crystal ball is glowing, which means some of these guys are getting rather close to green flag pit stops. We've ran it clean and green here for 41 out of 155 laps. Your leaders so far has remained Ross Phillips, keeping it out there at the Concrete Chaos 175 at Dover. They changed the lap count on me, so it's 155 laps here tonight. We'll be sure to adjust that for you. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be right back with green flag pit stops right after this.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive. Especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lyle using the bottom sack car closing in behind.
And here comes Lionel. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
There we go, Concrete Chaos 155 here live at the Dover Motor Speedway for the VSRL Set Truck Series on Monday night. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and we're back here approaching green flag pit stop time, 48 laps into this race. And Ross Phillips has done and led 27 of those laps. So starting on the pole, Ross Phillips wasting no time. He's pulling away 1.3 seconds to Sean Bounty. 2.5 to Dakota Floyd, who did lead a little bit there. Sean Bounty also was some laps led. Still a lot of racing left to go. The approaches Joseph Selig. He's a threat to go a lap down here. Right on board here with the number 5. This 5 truck has looked strong all season long. He's let a few races get away from him. Ready to capitalize and take point here in the playoffs. Gotta be perfect. Only 4 race chase. You can't afford a mistake. You gotta finish well in all 4 of them because somebody else will. Speaking of guys that have finished great all season long, one of them's behind him right now in the 2nd position. That's Sean Bounty in the 34. He started back in 7th. He's running 2nd right now, navigating some of this lap traffic. Bounty with 11 laps led. He's got the bonus point. You know that we're approaching these green flag pit stops. Bounty's got a heck of a gap to make up. 1.9, almost 2 seconds as they go into 3 and 4. Now he comes down pit road here. Very slow pit road here at Dover. Up entry. There's the 34 hitting his box. In stride here. Dakota Floyd Joseph Selling coming down pit road as well. Justin Ritchie hitting pit road. Now the 54 of Adam Tips coming in. Ross Phillips still out there on the track. He's going to come down pit road now. The 5 Orange Speed Machine making that long trip. Kyle Stewart following suit. Nicholas Pressey and the 21 of Helmlinger. He hits the wall trying to enter pit road. I told you it was tricky to get around this place. That entry to pit road. And the 21 almost hits the barrels. Can he make it back around? Let's take an instant replay and see what happened here. I have a great feeling about this already. But here he comes down pit road. He's leading a few other guys in. He just overshoots the landing a little bit. There's the 21 trying to nurse it back around the track to hit pit road. Does he have enough fuel? That's going to destroy the 21's chances. He's not going to make it back around. I think he's going to hit the tow button. He's going to have to. That's very unfortunate there for Garrett Helmlinger, having such a great race. But the 34 of Sean Bounty hits pit road first. Dakota Floyd following in second, and they get ahead of Ross Phillips. Bounty gets about a 4 or 5 second lead over the 5. But he also has 3 or 4 lap older tires, so we'll see how that plays out because the 34 already struggled in the long run. Now Phillips with that advantage of 3 laps or so. It's going to make it even more difficult to stay in the lead when we get 40, 50 laps into this run. I expect to see the 5 catch back up to the 34. We got the 24. Dakota Floyd in the mix as well. He's got 2 lap older tires. Kyle Stewart on and off pit road did a great job. Came in somewhere around the 6th position, comes out in 4th. He has Sean Langton behind him. Langton's been staying in this top 5 for quite a while. The guy that probably lost the most here on these pit stops, and he came in after losing a few positions. That's Justin Ritchie. Was running into 3rd, 4th position. Now in 6th. Nicholas Pressey in the 94. He's back to 7th. Thad Miller, though, he's maintained 8th position pretty much all race. And Thad Miller having a great run here at Dover. Excuse me. Helmlinger back out on the track. We just saw there in the corner of your screen. Ends up 3 laps down. He's got a lot of recovery left here in this race. A lot of work to do for the 21. (34) Sean Bounty. He's going to lead another one. Nobody around him. Dakota Floyd 5 seconds back from this guy. That's a heck of a lead. Put that in perspective. Bounty's going through 1 right now. Floyd's just now coming down the front stretch. We haven't really seen the 5 start to shave away that lead yet either. It's 6.5 seconds as they're about 10 laps into this stint. Sean Bounty doesn't have to navigate the traffic this time, and that probably helps the 34. That clean air. Langton has been right on the bumper of Stewart since they've exited pit road, trying to get around the 41. Hasn't been able to get it done yet. And you can see the high banks here. This concrete surface, very abrasive. Punishes you if you overdrive it. There's a very fine line here. And you could wait an eternity for this thing to turn down into the corner. You see the 8 getting back to the throttle a little sooner than the 41. And that'll allow Stewart to pull away. Now watch the 8 of Langton trying to turn down in. Just not getting the run that the 41's getting right now. Looking for a late apex here from the 8. He's got a little bit of right side damage as well, and that's definitely not helping the 8. Go back here and check in on the 13 of Thad Miller. He's got Brian Hennings behind him. Less than a tenth separate him and the 74. Hennings with a little bit of right side damage. I would assume he caught the turn 2 exit wall. Almost catch it. Yeah, he touches it again. Trying to work that fender back straight. Hennings started in 6th, has fallen back to the 9th spot. But closest cars on the track right now, Kyle Stewart, Sean Langton. Stewart has pulled away from Langton a little bit, who has that right side damage. Then the move back here with Pressy, they're about 7/10 of a second back from Justin Ritchie in the 55. Then the other closest battle really is Brian Hennings and Thad Miller. These guys have really spread out the field. Ross Phillips has caught up to Dakota Floyd, though. There's a run right there. Second position to the 5. About that. Was looking for a close battle. There was one right in front of us. Doing my best, Ross. Not to miss these passes you're putting on these guys. Sometimes they just happen so fast. He gets around the 24 in one corner. Now he sets sail. He's going to set his sights on this 34 of Bounty, who is 6.1 seconds ahead. That lead is dwindling down, though, lap after lap. And the 5 of Phillips get back to the 34. Does he stretch the run further this time? The 34 of Bounty might have pitted too soon as well. He might be short on fuel to stretch this out. "21 laps. I don't know. Can they make it a 2-stop race? Is Bounty going to be short? We know that Ross Phillips can. It'll come down to strategy for some of these guys. What a neat looking paint scheme on that 5. What do you think? Whoever's painting these orange speed cars, do an excellent job. Compliments to you. Do a great job with those paint schemes. Checking back in here with the 21. Garrett Helmlinger. Made a lot more work for himself. Unfortunate that he misses pit road. He is currently being scored in the 14th position from that 3rd place starting spot. 3 laps down here for the 21. Tough break for them. That's not going to help the points. It's going to be really tough. 54 of Adam Tips. He's almost in the top 10. He's got 2 seconds. He is a lap down. He's got 2 seconds up to Brian Watkins in 10th for a top 10 in the 54 machine. Justin Ritchie going by in the 6th position. Say probably 7th position back is at threat of going a lap down. As you can see, Sean Bounty with his 5.5 second lead over Ross Phillips. He's approaching Brian Hinnings in 9th. Hinnings right here on the exit of 4. We won't have very many guys left on the lead lap before too long. That's what happens when these races go clean and green. Oh, the 74 hits the wall again. That is not going to help his cause as he loses another 1.5 seconds to the 34 Bounty. They're going to probably work quickly. This is one of those tracks, you either love it or you hate it. A very tough line to learn. A little bit higher entry. You can see the 34 Bounty keeps it up there a lane and then pulls it down to the bottom on the exit. '74 Hinnings struggling with that outside wall tonight. And he'll go a lap down on lap 82. So Phillips, who's shaved this lead down a little bit, hasn't quite pulled Dakota Floyd with him. Floyd is 6 seconds back, but we're under 5 seconds for Ross Phillips. Still a lot of work to be done for the 5. He's approaching the 44 of Todd Cleveland, who's being scored 3 laps down. Cleveland must have missed the pit road entry as well. A lot of these guys, big names here, that have missed pit road or had problems during this race. The 51 of Morgan Cook, who's parked it behind the wall. David Ackenbauer is out of this race as well. Sully still out on the track, but he is being scored 5 laps down in the 15th position. And then Garrett Humlinger, like we mentioned earlier, missing pit road, falling 3 laps down, has to tow, can't make it back around the track. So some of these guys, playoff contenders, they're outside looking in here at Dover. Because Sean Bounty has turned up the heat in chase race number 1. 85 laps in, we've stayed clean and green all race long. 4 lead changes. 0 cautions. And some of these guys battling that tight condition again. I believe that was the 12 of Selling who clipped the outside wall just now. Went all the way to the apron of the track. Selling having a tough time here tonight. Phillips has this lead cut down below 4 seconds now. Is he going to get there in time before green flag pit stops, though? That's the real question. 3.8 as they come out of turn 4. But he can all but see Sean Bounty as he exits the turns. The 10th lap here for the 5, but that's probably not going to be enough. He loses a little bit here off the exit of 4. It's going to be tough for Phillips to get back up there before they do hit pit road. This 3 laps difference on tires has seemed to balance itself out. Dakota Floyd, he's worked the gap down to 5.8, so Bounty might be softening up a little bit. That clean air was working for him really well. He's been navigating lap traffic so far, and that's definitely helped these guys catch up to him a little bit as he goes around the 54 of Adam Tips, who's being scored in 11th position. They've got about 10 laps or so for the green flag pit stops to start again. Bounty probably going to be one of the first takers down pit road. And the 74 Hennings hits the wall again in front of the 5. Hennings going to let the 5 go rather quickly. Phillips gets off the exit and has it down almost to 3 seconds flat. You want to talk about the gap here. Going to turns 1 and 2. There's Sean Bounty. And then coming through now is Ross Phillips. And you've got the 24, Dakota Floyd. Kyle Stewart and Sean Langton, who's fallen way back. 4 seconds back away from Kyle Stewart. I think the 34 of Bounty is going to be in the right spot here to hit pit road, get 4 fresh ones. Does Ross Phillips have anything for him after pit road? We know the 5's good on the long run. But can he find that short run speed? Because after we hit pit road, we're going to have about 50 laps left. And if Bounty does as good of a job as he did the last time through, it's going to be really tough for the 5 to overcome that. Who's Osama? Evasive. I don't know who that is. What I can tell you is that I've been super congested for the last week and a half. I'm waiting for this whatever sinus cold, whatever it is, to go away. I've been struggling with that since Wednesday of last week. Well, actually the week before that. So it's been almost 2 weeks. I'm over it. I want to come on here and commentate and not have to blow my nose every 5 seconds. So if you're hearing long pauses, I apologize, but the sinus congestion is terrible today. And it doesn't help that it's allergy season. I hope everybody's been able to get outside and enjoy this warm weather. But it has been hell on me. Here we go, down to 2 seconds. Sean Bounty probably has about 3 or 4 laps left in him before he hits pit road. That 34 has dwindled this lead down. Ross Phillips working really hard to catch up to him. There's another 2/10 as they enter 3 and 4. He's going to have it below 2 seconds as they cross for lap 100. He just might catch him before green flag pit stops. Just maybe. Seems like 3 and 4 is really hurting the 34. You can see Phillips right there on the edge of the frame as they go into 1. 0.7 seconds. This might work out perfect for the 5. He can navigate the lap traffic a little bit better than Bounty. Bounty locks it up. He comes down pit road. I don't know if he made that. That's going to be tight. He locked it up, and I think he's okay. I think he's okay. A close call there for the 34, but he's on and off pit road quickly. And that brings the 5 of Phillips down. He's going to have equal tires. Let's see if he can get on and off pit road the same speed as Stewart. About 2 seconds was separating the 5 and the 34. No speeding penalties so far. Everybody's looking good. In and out of the box here for the 34. He's down and away. 5 of Phillips still on pit road. 34 back on the backstretch. He's going to take the lead away probably after this all cycles through, but currently being scored in 9th. Kyle Stewart coming down as well. Nicholas Pressey going to stay out on the track and lead a lap. We're going to add to that race recap and get you 7 lead changes here tonight with 0 cautions. Lap 104 out of 155. Stewart still on pit road. Stewart struggling a little bit. On and off pit road a little bit slower. But nonetheless, a good stop here for the 41. But if you want to talk about numbers, Sean Bounty went down pit road at 46.7 seconds with a 14.4 second pit stop. Ross Phillips a second slower down pit road and 0.3 of a second slower in his stall. That's going to make a big difference. A couple tenths here and there. I'm talking about 4-second gap between the 34 and the 5. Nicholas Pressey still out on the track. Thad Miller out there as well. You can see the 17 of Watkins just clips the wall. Watkins would be the first car a lap down. He's going to have to keep it off that wall in case a caution does come out. You don't want to get one of those X's. Helmlinger hits the wall. We caught that coming out of 2. Helmlinger's not been able to recover. The lack of cautions has not helped the 21 team whatsoever. And this is a very rough start to the chase. With only 4 races in here, it'll be a miracle. Helmlinger's going to have a tough time to recover in this race. Looking for the 94 to come down pit road in a lap or 2. The longer he stays out, the further Sean Bounty's going to pull away from the 94 and the 13. His fresh tires are clipping it down quickly. Remember that 4-second gap we were talking about with Ross Phillips? Well, it's grown out to 5.4 seconds this time around. And it continues to grow as we tick away lap 110. Nicholas Pressey brings it down pit road. Thad Miller staying out. Is he going to try to lead a lap, or does he go one more time around this place? Here comes Sean Bounty. I don't think the 13's going to get a lap led. He will not. So back to the lead here. Sean Bounty, 57 laps led. In the closing stages of this race, he has a 5.8 second lead and growing over Ross Phillips. It was your pole sitter. Dakota Floyd in third. He's back here. 9.5. Kyle Stewart in the fourth position. Sean Langton in fifth. And we'll bring it back up here on the screen for you. There's your current standings before this race, your playoff field. Sean Bounty knows he's leading these points. He wants to get up there and get another win. For the Season 2 playoff field, he's looking pretty good. We'll be headed to Michigan. The gap stopped growing. It's 5.8, but Ross Phillips still has a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it. We're talking about 40 laps to go. Is Ross Phillips going to be able to catch him? I don't know. He's really going to have to turn on the jets. A 10th lap might cut it. There's Bounty pulling it out almost to 6 seconds. Is he using his stuff up? Does he run it as hard as he can just to pull that lead? I don't know. This is going to get interesting. Caution could really change things here. Late race caution there last week. Really mixed things up. Helped the 21 recover. Especially after all those laps led, the 21 able to get back to the lead at Texas. Win his way into the playoffs. This guy here, he's had a tough time with the strats. The limited tire sets. They got him at Texas. He took his tires on the first 2 stops, didn't have a set, the caution come out. 24 fell all the way back to the 8th position. This week, he stayed in 3rd for most of this race. Looks like he has the right strategy this week for a podium. Dakota Floyd looking really good out there in the 24. And how about Kyle Stewart? That purple paint scheme has made him faster. I've been watching the 41 stay in the top 5 continuously for the past 3 weeks. He's got Sean Langton back there, though. And Langton is shaving away a little bit a lap. 1.1 seconds. As they come through 3 and 4, and the 74 Hennings hits the wall again. He's going to let the 13 of Thad Miller back up to 8th. Hennings has really had some problems with that outside wall tonight. That whole right side of that machine has had enough. .4 now as they cross for lap 122. Lead is starting to shrink again. His Bounty saving a little bit in the tank, trying to save that right front. Though if Phillips does catch up to him, he'll be able to defend. I don't know. Down, it's below 5 seconds now. You see Ross Phillips here as they come into 1. There's Bounty going down the backstretch. Phillips exited turn 2. Boyd has it at 8 seconds. He is starting to gain a little bit as well. 4.8. I don't know. With only 5 cars on the lead lap. This race really is coming down to Sean Bounty and Ross Phillips. We can't count out Dakota Floyd. He is within range, but a caution right now. Get some of these back on the lead lap. We've got Nicholas Pressey, Justin Ritchie, Thad Miller, Brian Hennings, all 1 lap down. These guys could get a wave around. Put him back up on the lead lap. .5 as they come down the backstretch for Phillips. He's got the 94 of Pressey kind of on the back bumper. Might mess with his entry points. Phillips is pushing really well. 4.2. It's dwindling down to the wire here. We're going to find out how it concludes. VSRL Set Truck Series, the Concrete Chaos 155 at Dover. We'll have uninterrupted coverage right after this.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Oh, big wiggle. And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
Up close for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Concrete Chaos 155 is back here. VSRL Southeast Tutoring Truck Series. That lead has dwindled down lap after lap. Sean Bounty is under 2 seconds in the lead. Ross Phillips has taken it down that much. And with about 23, 24 laps to go, Ross Phillips has all but caught him. Respectively, we were talking about a 6-second lead after pit stops. We're talking about less than 2 seconds. When we take 20 to go, and Phillips catch up to him. He's got him in his sights now. He just has to be perfect in every single corner. With this double apex here, Phillips is really making up some ground. Right on board here with Bounty. He's doing a little bit of that as well. Touches the apron a little bit. He's going to lose another couple tenths. You can see Phillips back there in the rear view. He's all but caught up to 1.3 seconds separate them now. On Bounty comes around for lap 136. down the back straightaway. They're well within view of each other. Bounty's just got to hold on. It's going to be tough to pass here. Phillips knows that. He might have been saving a little bit. Oh, the 55 of Richie hits the wall there down the backstretch. But less than 20 laps to go. And that lead below 1 second. 9/10 there as they went into one. Sean Bounty's going to have to play some defensive driving. He's got some lap traffic in front of him. He's going to have to get through quickly. It's Joseph Selig and Brian Hennings in front of him. That lead has stopped shrinking, though. Bounty did a great job saving his stuff. I say that, now it dwindles down to 7/10. 34 goes to the inside of Selig. 5 of Phillips now to the bottom. He's trying to navigate around. 6/10 now with 15 to go. Go to Floyd, 7.9 seconds back. But he's got a big gap back to Kyle Stewart of 5 seconds. Looking like Floyd, without a caution here, should wrap it up here in 3rd position. Kyle Stewart, he's all but brought it home in 4th. Langton has to go catch him for that 4th position. He'll be the last car on the lead lap. 15 seconds back from your leader, Sean Bounty. Nicholas Pressey, the first car a lap down, in 6th. Justin Ritchie, who was running in that top 3, back to 7th position. Thad Miller will be 8th. He's held on to that all race long. Brian Hennings, who struggled with the outside wall, he'll be at 9th. Still hitting that outside wall for the 74. Tough break for him tonight. Did you see Ross Phillips on the back bumper now? "13 laps to go. Ross Phillips has chased down Sean Bounty from a 6-second lead. And in 50 laps, he's right on the bumper to try to steal this win away from the 34. With our 9 lead changes, we might see a 10th one. Adam Tips moves up out of the way to let these guys go around. Hits the outside wall, trying to stay out of the way. Phillips right up on the bumper now. It's going to be tough for the 5 to get around him. Now he's got dirty air. Big run here down the backstretch for the 5. Phillips takes that wide arch, late apex. Now let's come off of 4. Let's see if he can get it. Not this time, but he's right up on the bumper. Peaks down to the bottom. Side by side in 1 and 2 for the lead. Bounty lets him have it very quickly, and we have a lead change here with 10 to go. Phillips takes it back. Does Sean Bounty have anything back to get back to that bumper? I think he's used it up. As it stretches out 0.3 of a second. It's Ross Phillips' race to lose now. Very light traffic in front of him. And that lead continues to grow. It's looking like it's probably going to be a Ross Phillips day. Sean Bounty just runs out of juice there at the end. 0.6 of a second separate him and Ross Phillips in the closing laps of this race. It's been a tough one here at Dover. We've had a variety of everything. Guys missing pit road. Trucks hitting the outside wall. Connection issues. Lap traffic. Green flag runs. Pit strategy. And through it all, with about 5 laps to go, Ross Phillips finds himself on point in stretching out what is sure to be over a second lead when they take the white flag. Sean Bounty with a respectable race, though. He leads 92 laps. Almost half this event, over half this event. Going to Sean Bounty. Then you have Dakota Floyd. He led 9 of them tonight. He's had a solid day, staying on the lead lap. Only 5 cars could say that. And he's going to bring it home third with 4 to go. It's looking that way. Kyle Stewart. He led 1 lap here tonight. He has Sean Langton on the back bumper. With 4 laps left, it's going to get heated. Langton's been trying to nab that position away all race long. Stewart playing defense here as they go into 3 and 4. 3 laps to go. Langton gets to his inside. They're side by side into 1 and 2. They're way up the racetrack. Can he get a run off the backstretch? Pitches the 8 down. Gets a great run to hold the door. But now the 8's going to push him up the track and make him take a wide angle into 3. 41 probably going to concede this position. So Stewart falls back to 5th. Langton gets 4th. White flag in the air. And Ross Phillips has to do it one more time. Pulls out to a 1.4 second lead. And as he comes down to the exit of turn 4, checkered flag in the air. Ross Phillips gets it done here at Dover. Gonna take it down the front straightaway here for an excellent race. 46 laps led, and he earned every single one of them. Interviews with your top 3. Ross Phillips gets it done over Sean Bounty and Dakota Floyd in 3rd. We're going to pull those guys up into the broadcast booth right after this quick commercial break and a word from our sponsors.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive. Especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Post-race interviews coming up. We've got the third place finisher on pit road, Dakota Floyd. You put on a solid race here tonight. You even led some laps, but it just wasn't enough to hang with those leaders on and off pit road. Dover's such a tough place to get around.
Yes, it is. And honestly, I am more impressed that I was able to pull top 3 here. I'm usually never that good at Dover, but I think I found a line that worked consistently in the long run, and it allowed me to at least keep pace, but those 2 guys in front of me had a better long run than I did.
Yeah, it looked good out there, though. The 24 got around that first stint. You were able to nab away the lead. You came out of nowhere. It just seemed like the long run, it faded so quickly. Was it the right front or the right rear here tonight that you guys were really leading on?
Oh, it was the right front 100%. It's just once you get about halfway through that run, you just have to start diamonding that corner so much, and you lose so much momentum and coming out of 2 and 4.
Yeah, it looked like a couple different lines. There were some diamonds in the corner. There were late apexes. But nonetheless, Dakota Floyd, you get it done here at Dover. And looking at your season, you've had a solid run. You put together, and Texas got away from you. So it's good to see you finish up here on the podium.
Yeah, I wish I would have had a finish like this in Texas. I still don't think it would have been enough for the playoffs. But if I wouldn't have missed a race or 2 in the season, I think I'd probably be in the playoffs. But I'll take a 3rd place at Dover any day of the week.
Well, Dakota, while we got you up here, is there anybody you'd like to shout out for tonight's 3rd place performance?
I just want to shout out you, Coop, VSPEED, for putting on awesome broadcasts, and everybody in this league for racing awesome. The fact that we go caution free at Dover says a lot about these guys. So I just want to shout out everybody in the league and just for an awesome race, guys.
Well, appreciate your time, Dakota, and we're looking forward to Michigan. Good luck out there.
I appreciate it, Coop. Have a good one.
You too. There's your 3rd place finisher, Dakota Floyd. Get it done here tonight at Dover. Now we're walking down pit road a little bit further away. We've got the 34 of Sean Bounty, 2nd place finisher here tonight. And man, unfortunate. You had a massive lead both times down pit road, over 6 seconds. But in the closing laps, it just dwindled down. It was tough to defend. 92 laps led. Dominant performance, Sean.
Well, there was no defending. I'm running on like 2 cylinders right now, not feeling too well. I was just talking to Ross about it, and there was a lap I wanted to pit on at the tail end of that lap, and just to make sure I pitted with or before Ross, and I ended up pitting at the start of that lap and not the tail end. So 20 laps into that run, I realized I'm a lap short on fuel.
Yeah,
So
it puts you in a spot.
I spent the whole rest of that run, 35 plus laps, running 3/4 to half throttle. There was no defending at that point. I ran out coming out of 4.
Yeah, I wondered if that was going to play into a factor because of that short pit on the first stint. But
The first stint was no problem. I could have gone an extra 10 laps on that last one. I just knew that with a 5-second gap, as long as I pitted with or before, it was a guarantee. But I had to pass this particular lap, and I pitted on the lap. Yeah, just 100% mental error, and I lost it.
that's unfortunate, Sean. And we noticed that lead dwindled down rather quickly. We knew that you had a decent mid to short range car all the way through this race. What did it take here to get around this place? You guys pulled out almost 20 seconds over Sean Langton and Kyle Stewart. It's a big gap putting down over half the field.
I really couldn't say. I know it's a tough track. It's really just managing your rhythm, not bogging it down too much in the middle, and not turning too hard on entry. And you don't want to rainbow it too much and kill your tires. You don't want to jab the gas and diamond it too hard. In another aspect, you have nice rhythm, and you can hold your pace rather well. And there's a couple cars that started passing a few times, and I don't know.
It's tricky. It is a tough track. We watched a lot of guys struggle with the outside wall, and I think that's partial to getting around this place. We watched a couple guys miss pit road. It's just you got to be perfect every single time.
Yeah. There were two in both of my pit stops. On one, I went around one car that hit the tire barrier and was sideways on the track side. I thought for sure that was going to bring out a caution, but he was right on the edge. And then the second time I went around, a car hit the barrier and fortunately bounced onto the inside. If he went the other way, it would have taken me right out because I was going by him right at that time. But yeah, it's there's some places that you got to put in the work and make sure track doesn't come out and bite you. That's why this track has a reputation.
We appreciate your time, Sean. Second place here tonight with a dominating lead. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out for second place?
Just it's a great race. We went caution free. Congrats to Ross. He outsmarted me by not screwing himself over. And yeah, we'll see how it goes next week.
We appreciate it, Sean, and good luck at Michigan.
Thank you.
Second place finisher, Sean Bounty. We're going to move Ross Phillips up here. We're in VSPEED victory lane with our race winner, Ross Phillips. How did you... Kyle Larson. Hey, I tell you what, man, you got it done this week. The strategy just played out. Sean said he pitted a little bit too soon and had to save way too much, and you were able to get back to that lead. It shaved 6 seconds in 50 laps.
Yeah. At this place, it's all about saving tires, man. It literally, the hell with the fuel, it's all about saving tires. And when you go into tire saving mode, you're going to save the fuel. And I told the entire Orange Speed team that before we went into the race, I worked with them on how to, lifting points, where to save the right front, don't be full throttle through the corner at all, things like that. And told them I run a bunch of official races a couple of weeks back and really learned how to get around this place.
Yeah, we watched you dwindle down several leads here tonight. You started up on the pole, and let's walk through that first stint. You fell back to about the third, fourth position, and then out of nowhere, take the lead back before green flag pit stops. Was that part of your plan, is just to save and run these guys down later in the run?
Yeah, all the guys that pretty much passed me, they were what we would call missiles, not as in a weapon, but just they're hot lappers. The Sean and Dakota, and there was one other. They kind of jumped out there once we got rolling and they got clear of everybody. They were just hammered down. And this track is so deceiving with that, it makes you feel like you can hammer down for so long. But what a lot of people don't realize is running through the corners, you're going to chew the right front up bad. And I just let them go. I was like, I'm going to run my line the way I run it, save tires. By the time they pit, they probably have 60-something% left on their right front, while I've got 80%. So
yeah,
that was the plan. Let them roll, and on top of that, it saves fuel. I mean, I knew running my line the way that we run it, it was going to be about 55 to 58 laps, somewhere in there, and I knew just flat out hammer down running, they're only going to be able to run about 40 something. When they both pitted at 55, I knew it was over.
Do you think the paint scheme tonight had anything to do with this finish?
No. And believe it or not, the paint scheme's actually horrible. I know it looks okay, but it was supposed to be a lot like brighter colors and a lot more yellow down the door, and I just couldn't figure it out in time. So I was like, we'll just leave it alone for now and work on this more later.
Well, it looks pretty good to me. I enjoyed looking at it. I liked all the Orange Speed trucks out there tonight. But Ross, you get it done. We're going to Michigan next week, and you're sitting pretty in the points. Is this another track that we look forward to maybe having you up front?
I'll definitely be up front. I've always been pretty fast at Michigan, but I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those tracks that one time we run there, I'm really great at it. The next time we run, I'm not so great. So I mean, look for me in the top 5 somewhere. But we're gonna hopefully try to eke out another win. But there's a lot of tough guys that are pretty good at Michigan. So especially Sean. Well, I think he's gonna be here next week. So Sean Langton's gonna put on a pretty good show up front. I guarantee it.
Well, the 5 gets it done here tonight at Dover for the Concrete Chaos 155. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, the entire Orange Speed team, man. All the teammates are great. Ryan Depew for putting this entire team together. Obviously you for putting on this thing, or broadcasting this thing. Sorry, Garrett mainly puts it on, but SET, our main sponsors, Southeast Tutoring, along with the VSRL VSRL league all the way around. Sounds like you need to go get some sickness medicine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Got
dying
the, got the
today.
HIV?
Yeah. No, I don't know what it is, but it's been kicking my ass all week. 2 weeks in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah,
It's,
go get you some meds, man. Rest
Yeah,
up.
I've been drinking my Coors Light, trying to dehydrate
That
it
is
enough to
not
dry out.
remedy. That is not a remedy.
Makes me forget about it eventually. But yeah, Ross, man, congratulations on the win. And yeah, I'll try to get healed up. But we'll look forward to Michigan, and hopefully we'll have you back up here in the broadcast booth next week.
Absolutely, man. We'll see you next week.
Race winner here tonight, Ross Phillips getting it done. He leads 46 laps and dwindles down that lead of 6 seconds to get the win over top of Sean Bounty. So there it is. Folks, I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with all your friends and family so they never miss a single race here on VSPEED. VSRL Set Truck Series has concluded. We'll bring up your results now. Walk you through that top 10. Ross Phillips, Sean Bounty, and Dakota Floyd, your top 3. We just talked to them. Sean Langton gets around Kyle Stewart there right at the end. Nicholas Pressey, the first car a lap down, in the 6th position. Justin Ritchie, Thad Miller, Brian Hennings, and Brian Watkins, your top 10. 11th position is going to go to Adam Tips with Todd Cleveland. Tough break for him tonight. Finishing in 12th, Garrett Helmlinger. Probably the toughest break of the race. Goes to the 21, starts in 3rd. He's going to end up 5 laps down. Joseph Selig going to finish in the 14th position. Then we have a new name that I'm not used to saying. I'm going to say this one more time. Hopefully I get it right. Solly. I believe that's the correct pronunciation of that. Going to be in 15th. Morgan Cook did not finish this race. He's going to bring it behind the pit wall, 120 laps down. And David Ackenbauer, 140 laps out. So again, hope you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you did, like, subscribe, and share. Tomorrow night, we're going to go live for VSPEED's BTDY Cup Series. That'll be live at 8:35 Eastern Time, p.m. And we're setting up. Pretty soon, VSPEED's going to be going live on Days That End with Y. So if you're not subscribed to the channel and you like iRacing, you're going to get a lot more here in the next couple months as we start a Friday and Saturday officially. And outside of that, we're Adam Baker, and everybody here at VSPEED, myself, Bradley Cooper, signing off here tonight for the VSRL Truck Series. Take care, everybody, and have a good one.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lyle using the bottom south car closing in behind.
And here comes Lionel. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Turn!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.